We are marching today to remind people everywhere, our lawmakers especially, of the significance of science for our health and prosperity. This was a segment of a speech Bill Nye, the Science Guy, gave to ralliers at the March for Science in Washington, D.C. The March for Science was an event that happened on Saturday, which coincided with Earth Day on purpose. And it was a nonpartisan event that involved over 600 cities and hundreds of thousands of people to advocate for science, and in this time where science is largely ignored in our government's lawmaking systems. And in my speech, I'm going to talk about the events that gave rise to this March for Science. As it's not an annual event, it's just happened for the first time. The March for Science was inspired by the 2017 Women's March, and the idea of it originated on Reddit, which is an information website, and then a Facebook group formed, and over 300,000 people joined it in less than a week. And the reason why it's so big is because of a lot of the things that the Trump administration are carrying out. And for example, the biggest thing is Trump's fiscal plan for the upcoming year. He released that last month in March, and he and his team, his transition team, made a lot of budget cuts to very important programs like the Environmental Protection Agency. For example, the cuts will, if carried through, they will cut 31% of the funding for the Environmental Protection Agency and 18% for the National Institute of Health, which are billions of dollars and will cause hundreds of programs to be shut down. It is very contradictory, because in the U.S. Constitution, in Article 1, Section 8, it states to promote the progress of science and useful arts, which is like engineering. And it's very helpful that this event has these spearheads, like Bill Nye, like very publicly known scientific figures, like Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. And one quote that Bill Nye said to The Guardian is, "Objective truths have become diminished, and lawmakers are acting like a strong belief in something is as valid as careful peer review." And that's very, very pertinent, because, like, as we see things on Twitter from our government, and just like they're very strong beliefs about things, but they don't have any scientific backing. And in this time where the transition team of Trump is taking the roles of other heads that the people that used to work for the EPA, now they're removing and replacing people. There's like a kind of like a voluntary gag order that's on organizations like this, which is technically normal, because you can't expect like all these websites and information to be shut down and then reopened in like a day. But it's still like very like contradictory to like our advancements that we've made so far, and it's very ignorant. Furthermore, after this march, it was just one day of marching, but the website for March for Science promotes a week of action afterwards, and they specialize different things for each day. So they they want you to support policy changes in local government, and they want you to connect with local audiences like I'm doing right now. And also even like play scientific games with like kids and just your friends, and become more informed. And I think this event was really brought up to power by the passionate people in especially online, which is how it basically started, and how it was taken over by celebrity figures to bring it to power and like give more inspiration to it. And in conclusion, I just want to remind everyone that our Earth is very important, as this was started on Earth Day, and we only have one, and there's no planet B. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mark, how did this go for you compared to your last one? Really different.
very different.
Yeah. How did that go?
I felt like I was a little bit more passionate on my last one. I felt like I could connect to my audience better because I liked it more. But this was like very pertinent, and it was like happened 2 days ago, so I liked how recent it was. So I enjoyed it.
Okay, teammates, if you could.
I think you are very knowledgeable of the subject matter, and I think you delivered it very well and very clearly. And the amount of detail you gave with your like all your facts was showed that you were like credible and knew what you were talking about.
I thought your content was really good. How it was like a recent event and like a new like upcoming event also. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah, then you really had like your thesis in the end of your introduction, which was really nice because like we knew what you were gonna be talking about, like you said, your whole speech.
You clearly like researched your information, and I think you know it really well. And you look super calm up there. Like, you didn't look nervous at all, and you presented it really well.
I liked your approach, and I thought, I liked your little chuckle that you did the same topic as Wordy, but I thought you guys went about it in two very different ways, and it made it a lot like yours. I felt just as interested as yours, even though we already heard about somewhat of the topic as I was for that, and I thought it was really interesting.
I know students always panic. Oh no, they're doing the same thing as I am. You guys have different brains. You think about it differently. You take different approaches and different specific purposes that you want to get across. So it did not feel really redundant. So that was kind of cool to have that play out. Okay, Mark, I like the way that you opened the presentation. I think the Bill Nye Science Guy is somebody that everybody knows, someone that everyone knows, and a good frame for the speech. So I thought that was an effective way to open it. I thought